Have you ever wanted to lose weight? Just that question alone can be very triggering. Maybe not for you, maybe for someone you know. Weight loss can be a constant struggle and battle that can be very consuming. So today I want to talk about not the end all be all, but a very important piece for anyone who is trying to improve their health, and that is portion control. You may or may not have this on your radar. You may or may not have ever struggled with this. This can be overeating, undereating, complete uncertainty of what portion control even looks like for you in your life. So if you've ever had any questions, if you've ever struggled with this, if you just want to get some tips, this episode is for you. So let's dive in. Are you too busy to prep healthy meals? Do you feel self-conscious about your body and your clothes not fitting right, but you don't have time to work out? Does your life feel unorganized and messy? Do you wish you had routines and habits that made health simple, even with your busy schedule? I know, I've been there. Hi, I'm Shannon Marquita, and no one ever really taught me how to eat healthy. I didn't know anything about nutrition, so I found myself eating whatever was easy, which definitely impacted my energy, weight, and focus. That's why I created this podcast, to show you that through healthy habits and time management, you can know you're doing health right. So stop scrolling social, clicking the ads, and buying all the things. Let's grab our Americano and pop in our AirPods. It's time to solve the real problem together. Welcome home. A fresh start awaits. I want to first preface this entire episode with the fact that this is not an episode on weight loss. Yes, there is a time and place to discuss that because honoring your body and working to be in a healthy range is important. But today we are talking only about portion control and why it's important. So if you are here for all the tips and tricks, know that that's not what this episode is for. This is focusing on nutrition and how to eat better portions and amounts for your body. So whether you struggle with overeating, undereating, or have no idea if you're even doing it right, you're in the right place for today. That being said, I want to talk about portion control for a few different reasons because there's a lot going on right now in the health and fitness industry, and some of it is healthy, some of it is a moneymaker, and I just want to be clear that portion control is something that is in your control, and that's really empowering. Now, if you're not sure what you should be eating, that's a different episode about nutrition that we can discuss at a later time. Today is not about exactly what you should be eating personally in regards to healthy fats, protein, carbs, etc. Today is just about portion control. So what that means is recognizing when is your body hungry and when is your body full. Wow, that sounds really simple when you put it like that, right? But this is something that so many of us struggle with, myself included. It can be for lots of different reasons. Sometimes it can be we waited too long to eat, and so we are so hungry that we literally eat as much as we can, as fast as we can. I remember growing up, and this was always what happened to me at the end of a school day. I would go to school during the day, I'd get home, and between what I had for lunch and my snacks, by the time I got home, I was so hungry. Now, I'm not sure what your school times were, but by the time I got home, which was usually from the bus, and then a short little walk, which was burning even more energy, and I lived in Florida, so the heat was a whole nother level, I got home between 4 and 5 o'clock, which is kind of crazy, but it's also on the brink of dinner time, and I was just so stinking hungry. So I raided the kitchen. I would eat a lot of peanut butter. I would eat some different crackers and chips and just things that were very easy to grab and consume, not necessarily known for their nutritional value to my body. But again, I'm a kid. I don't know all those pieces. I'm just realizing, hey, I'm super hungry. What can I put in my system ASAP? And then after you ate a bunch, your body would realize, I'm actually not hungry. I'm super full because you were so hungry that you ate, and you didn't give your body a chance to acknowledge that it had items in it and it needed to have stopped consuming things sooner. So we went from so very hungry to so very full and now uncomfortable. So that's an extreme example of portion control gone bad. Now, the right choice would have been pack more snacks, ration them out throughout the day, so that by the time I got home, I wasn't that hungry and I didn't eat so much so quickly. So we need to learn to pace ourselves. We need to learn to plan. I've gotten a lot better at keeping a granola bar or simple things in my purse in case I find myself in a bind and just super hungry, that I'm not letting myself have a state of discomfort and maybe stopping and getting something quick and easy that I shouldn't be eating. Just being prepared is a huge part of portion control so that we don't find ourselves overeating because we're just trying to eat so quickly because we're so very hungry. Now, acknowledging when you're hungry and when you're full is extremely important because you're listening to your body. And there are times where you might not be hungry, you might not be full, you're kind of in that in between. That's okay, have some water. But learning to listen to our bodies and not just eat because we're bored or because we're distracted, this is one of the biggest reasons that people tend to overeat. Boredom and distraction. So if you're bored, you're looking for something to do, hey, I'll go into the kitchen, I'll wander around. Becoming aware of your actions, you could start counting the times you go in the kitchen. You could start pausing and asking yourself, hey, am I actually hungry? I was talking with a friend recently who is becoming very mindful of their portion control, and they are trying intermittent fasting, not necessarily for certain health reasons of their specific metabolism, but more just trying to be aware of their eating habits. And part of what they reflected on immediately was the fact of how many times they went into the kitchen just out of habit. They weren't hungry. They literally had just had dinner or a snack. They just wandered in the kitchen, slightly because of boredom, slightly because they had nothing to do, and slightly because of habit. And then they'd pause, realize what time it was, so their fasting had already begun for the evening/night, and then they left. But the more we become aware of what we're actually doing and we ask ourselves why, we realize I'm eating just for something to do. I'm not hungry. And that is a piece of portion control. Now, another piece is distraction. People watching TV and movies, we just eat while we do it. You might have a bag of chips and realize at the end, oh my gosh, where'd the bag go? You ate it because you were so focused and tuned out into whatever you were watching that you didn't realize you kept sticking your hand back in the bag or the box and eating and eating and eating. So that's another place that portion control is extremely beneficial. If you're going to have a snack or something to eat while you watch a movie or TV, decide ahead of time how much. Get a bowl or a plate or something and put what you're going to have in there. Don't take the whole bag. Don't take the whole box. That is not a serving size. Now, when we talk about serving sizes, if you're not really sure what that means for you, I want to point you to two really good resources that are extremely user-friendly and you can teach yourself. They are self-explanatory. They come with all the tools and resources that you need. I will link each of them in the episode notes for this podcast episode, but the first one you might have heard of because it was really popular not too long ago. It's called the 21-Day Fix, and what it goes through is each category of food, so healthy fats, carbs, protein, veggie, fruit, etc. And it teaches you what the right amount is for your goals. It takes into account your height, your weight. It comes with containers, lots of recipes, very, very simple. But it also helps to teach you how much you should be eating in a day for your goals, for your specific body type, and what that looks like when you plate it. So again, I'll link that in the episode notes for this podcast episode today, but that one is extremely helpful, user-friendly, helps you to visualize. Now, the second one is called 2, like the number 2, B as in boy, mindset. So the 2B mindset. And I love this one as well. It focuses on how you should be eating in regards to your different meals during the day. So stacking when you have more, what you have more of, if you're still hungry after you finish your meal, not being afraid to go back for seconds, but what you should really be focusing on. And what that would mean is I finished my dinner and I'm actually still kind of hungry. Okay, we'll go back and have some more veggies, some more healthy protein. Don't go back for a second, third, fourth piece of bread, even if it was delicious. So fueling your body, but not being afraid to eat. Because one of the biggest things that I have recognized in talking with people and my own personal journey, especially in the beginning, is we're so focused on results that we start to be afraid of food. It becomes an unhealthy relationship. Oh my gosh, I'm hungry, but if I eat, then that's going to undo all my hard work and I'm not going to reach my goals. No, food is fuel. We need food. The problem is that a lot of people aren't eating for fuel for their bodies to energize them, to help them function at their prime. And they're just not eating properly. They're overeating or undereating. And if we're not eating enough, our body, as a protective mechanism, starts to store everything because it doesn't know when it's going to get its next meal. And if we overeat, then obviously we're overeating, so we have more than we need. So our body's also storing that. And a lot of times when we're overeating, we're also not eating well. So the choices we're making might have a lot of sugars in them, might be a lot of processed carbs. So it's just learning the value of food and eating proper portions. So these two resources are really helpful for what you should be eating and how much. And something that I also really love about the 2B mindset, which I personally purchased at the end of last year, is they have an entire, plateware set. And it comes with bowls, lunch, breakfast plates, dinner plates, and they're really cute, but they help you for measuring too. So when you're making your plate for dinner, it has a little section that is going to be for your protein and for your veggies. And then also the bowls that has different markings on them, so you can use them for cooking and baking. It's how much is a half a cup, quarter cup, etc. But then also your different markings if you're using them for soup or dessert. So that's something that I added to my kitchen because I really liked how they looked and I really liked the value that they offer and to keep me on track with portions because the temptation is there for everybody to have a little extra, and having a little extra than we need regularly, that doesn't support our goals. That being said, the more that we educate ourselves for what our bodies need, it helps us to not compare to others, which the comparison game in any area of life is a thief of joy. Don't let your joy be stolen by constantly comparing yourself to others. You don't know their struggles. You don't know their life situations. Focus on yourself, stay in your lane, learn healthy habits and choices, and let that fuel you to reach whatever your personal goals are. And the more you learn portions, it's going to help you in other areas of life. For example, it'll help you save money because you'll buy better food, you'll eat the food that you do buy, and you won't be spending money on things unnecessarily. For example, when you go out to a restaurant, you'll be a lot better about either sharing a meal with a friend or eating the right amount and taking the rest home. So getting more than one meal out of restaurant servings. A lot of people make the mistake of going out to eat and thinking, oh, this is what I ordered. This is how much they gave me. This must be a portion. No, that is so very wrong. The amount that a restaurant gives you is simply that. It's the amount that they give you. It is not a proper portion for you for your meal. 9 times out of 10, if not almost 10 times out of 10, it's too large of a portion. It's enough to share and even could be enough to share with leftovers. And if you get an appetizer, don't even get me started on that because now you're having an appetizer before your meal, so you definitely shouldn't be eating an entire restaurant serving. You decide what your proper portion is. A restaurant shouldn't be telling you a bag of chips or a snack or anything like that. Whatever is written on there is just a general guideline, but it doesn't know what you personally need. It doesn't know your goals. So you need to learn and educate yourself on what your body needs and begin to apply that with all of your choices. So it'll save you money, it'll help you reach your goals, and it'll help you to feel more energy and empowered the more that you learn about proper portion control for your body. Because when you're getting the right proteins and veggies and fruit, you have a healthier relationship with food too. You're not afraid to eat certain things. You're not worried, oh my gosh, if I have this, then I'm never going to reach my goal. Or if it's the summer, you can't go in a bathing suit because you're going to feel uncomfortable. And these are all spiraling thoughts that are triggering, and they don't support a healthy habit of your mindset and your thoughts and you becoming the person that you're meant to be. You need to love your body. You need to remember that portion control is a piece of the puzzle and you are in control of it. And self-discipline is a great way to practice fueling your body properly and honoring it so that it can continue to serve you day to day in everything that you do. So I hope this was helpful. I know portion control is something that sounds so simple, and yet it's such a big piece of the puzzle, and so many of us either have had an unhealthy relationship with food and amounts or just have never known where to start. So again, I'm going to link the 2 portion resources that I mentioned, the 2B mindset and the 21-day fix, in the episode notes. So go ahead and check them out. Even if you feel like you have a pretty good handle on portion control, it's good to always have a refresher or kind of a check-in to make sure that you're doing it right, or little helpful hints if you want to do some tweaks, or if you know somebody that struggles with portion control or you want to help them learn even more, then this would be a great resource, both this episode and those 2 tools, to send them as well. I hope you're doing well. I always love hearing from you guys, so always feel free to reach out through social media and or email. Let me know how this is applying to your life. And any questions that you have, remember that one-on-one coaching is always an option to be able to dive in with your very specific questions and making a plan that works for you. Talk to you soon. If this podcast helped, challenged, or inspired you in some way, I would love it if you'd do me a huge favor and leave me a review over on Apple Podcasts. It helps me to hear from you and know how this is best serving you. And go ahead and screenshot this and share it in your stories. Tag me at Shannon Marquita. That's ShannonMarqueta. And send it over to a friend in a text who is ready for healthy changes in her life too. Let her know that this episode might serve her as well. I am just so grateful for you and would love to hear from you. Come hang out and let's connect over in my Facebook group, bit.ly/afreshstart, or send me a message. I look forward to seeing you back here in a few days.